Welcome to Cliff on Cars and Things. I'm Cliff. Good afternoon. You join me on a beautiful sunny afternoon. Last time we did the VR6, I said it's a big one. But look what we have here. This is even bigger. I said the VR6 is the new soundtrack for the car cult in South Africa, maybe rivaling the 325 IS. Am I right? Remains to be seen. Welcome to Cliff on Cars. I'm Cliff. Before we delve into this car and see what the craze is all about, what has South Africa buzzing when they hear the 325 IS engine roaring as it's coming from a distance, all the kids riding to the streets and all the teenagers go mad and all the grown men who wish they had sometimes up towards 2 million rand in their bank account just to park one in the garage. What is it about the E30 325 IS that has South Africa fixed? Totally fixated on this vehicle. One thing you cannot deny, the 325 IS is a beauty. In Europe, you do get the M-Tech body kit, which you see here. That comes with the 325 IS from the factory. But in Europe, you would see some cars that look like a 325 IS, but they only have the M-Tech kit on, and they are not 325 IS. Because there's a special ingredient which makes up the 325 IS. There's the M-Technic badging there on the kit, on body kit, badged 325 IS. Has a sunroof. Sitting on the OEM wheel, running a Goodyear efficient grip tire. I'm giving you more shots of this car because I know that people would really want to see the car. So I'm doing more walkarounds of the vehicle. Just excuse my shadow. It's sundown now here and it's winter. So that's why you're getting a lot of my shadow. But I'm just allowing you the opportunity to take this vehicle in. This is a fine specimen of a 325 IS. This is a fine specimen of this vehicle. Somewhere right now, there is a young man or a young lady saving up to one day park one of these in their driveway. As a matter of fact, some people would rather buy this than buy themselves a house because it is so coveted, this vehicle. Okay, let's start having a look at some things. The boot on the IS, remember the IS is a two-door, it's a coupe. So really, it's not meant for a lot of passengers at the back. So 2 kids is really what it's meant for at the back. So this boot is enough for when you're traveling, a family of 2 parents and 2 young kids, not even grown kids. But what is very interesting, which you get with every BMW, is the tool kit, which is mounted on the boot. So let's see. Looks like it's all complete, even nicely covered with a rag to clean the tools once the owner has finished working with them. Now this is how you know that a vehicle is meticulously taken care of. And that is when you see a full tool set in the boot and clean, even with a rag to wash it. And the rag, by the way, is badged BMW. I can't even begin to tell you in what good condition this car is. It has been signed, this vehicle, by a Mr. Dion. Is it used? But anyway, or Yobert, I'm not sure. We'll have to ask the owner to find out about the signature because it's very interesting. Why is the vehicle signed, and who is this gentleman that signed this vehicle? Maybe it's one of the chaps that used to race the 325 IS in the Standard Group and Kyalami. Have a look at this. Have a look at the quality and how clean these plastics are. I wanted to have a look at the screws and the covers for the screws, the plastic covers for the screws. It's all here. And there's your tow hitch to hook onto your bumper when the tow truck comes. And there's your tire spanner, sitting with your jack. And over here, I would take it as your battery box in the corner over there. It's got a number plate holder, as all ISs do have. And look how clean this plastic is. Look at the condition of the lights over there. I'm seeing some flakes in this white paint over here. I don't know if it's showing on the camera, but it's beautiful in the sun. It's just glistening. So the M-Tech body kit gives you a split spoiler. One is a lip on the boot, and the other one is a floating spoiler above it. Car still has its OEM antenna. Great thing about the 325 IS is the size of this rear window. The visibility from the inside to the outside is just fantastic, and that's something you get on the older coupes or coupes versus the newer ones. The newer ones, the rear window is just so small you can hardly see out of it. Take a look at the black plastics on here. Let's look at the rubbers running over there. Everything in this car is just in perfect condition. Immaculate. I want you to take a look at this carpeted strip that runs around the sunroof. It is just in perfect condition. Just look at the rubbers coming down. The gentleman that owns this vehicle, IS is his passion, and he actually restores ISs, and this is his personal IS. And if there was ever an example that you need to show people your work, your own personal car is the best way to do it, and this definitely showcases his work. Let's have a look inside. Let's start with that door card. Look how clean that is. Look how clean the plastics are on your armrest, on the door handle. Look at that fabric. Just cast your eye onto the plastics on the dorsal. The stickers are here. Look at the strike on the door. It looks brand spanking new. Driver's seat is in immaculate condition. Side bolsters in great condition. Pedals, perfect. Look at all these rubbers over here. No rust on the hinges. Door rubbers running beautifully, beautifully. What an example of a fine 325 IS. Okay, so now we sit in the driver's seat and we're looking at the steering wheel. And look at that cluster. Clean. I've got to say, BMW E30 clusters are still classy even today. Very well laid out, simple to understand, and you can't go wrong when you drive this car. You know exactly what is what and how it's laid out. Got some air vent on the side here. You've got your light control for your headlights over here, and that's the switch that assists with your flooding of your beams on the road at night. Your headlight beams. M striping over here. We come to the center, and let's look at the layout. I love how cars from the 18s and the 90s were laid out. It's so simple. Vents at the top, hazard, demister, that's to control where you want your air to come through. That's for your heat and cold. That's for your fan motor speed, aircon, circulation. I mean, radio, right there. We don't have the OEM radio, we have an Alpine radio. And Alpine radios, it's actually quite period for this car, the Alpine aftermarket radio. Have a look at the plastics over there. We still have the OEM alarm system, but take a look at that. I mean, there's not a scratch. The plastics are just the right color. They have not faded. It's as if this car just stood still in time. Have a look at the door card on the passenger door. Okay, I'm going to get into the back now so we can get a better view of the back and a better view of the front again from inside. Okay, so we're seated in the back seat and we're having a look at the dashboard. We've already gone through it, but this gives us a very nice view from the back seat. And once again, I want you to focus on the interior of this car. The seats, the material. This is just world Class. There's the passenger door card once again. Let's pan across. Have a look at that. Look at the leather on the steering wheel. Perfect condition. Now, every time you see someone jumping into the 325, whether it's an IS or that's a 325 IS sedan, 325 sedan, an E30, whenever they jump in, jump in the car, rev the engine, and then press the check light up here. This is the first 325 I've jumped into, and there's no warning lights. So every time somebody who drives a 325i, whether it's an IS or 325i 4-door, whenever they jump inside, they start the car, rev it up, everybody gets excited, then they press the check button over here. And it's such a cool thing to do when they do that, and everyone's like so impressed. But as a matter of fact, if you need to press the check button, then it means there's a warning light flashing there. And I must say, I'm impressed because I got into this 325i, I started it up, and there's no warning lights and no need for me to press the check button. It's not the first time I'm driving this IS. I drove it before, and I must say, from then to now, still in great condition. Still in great condition. Class act. You got the M striping on the gear lever. It's 5-speed. You've got your cigarette lighter, and you've got your ashtray. It's a 2-door coupe, so you've got the left window up and down. It's separate buttons, for one for up, one for down. And you've got on the right, one for up, one for down, and then obviously that one is to lock the windows, so no one can push them up and down. And there is the handbrake, and sitting here is a nice pocket, and the remote for the Alpine radio fits in perfectly. Now, I always liked as a kid these flaps on the E30 handbrakes, and they sort of like reminded me of, I think, what you call it, that instrument, concertina. I think it's a concertina, right? In South Africa, in the townships, they call it ikostina. The one that it's a wind instrument, and it's got those flaps as well. Sunroof. Now focus on the roof lining. It is in perfect condition. I'll take a good shot from the front of the back. Over here, we've got the button for the sunroof. We've got sun visors. There's no mirror on the driver's side. There is a mirror on the passenger side. That theme carries on from the VR6, because the same thing was happening when it came to mirrors on the sun visors. Let's have a look at the back. Take a look how much space you get when you rake the seat forward to give rear passenger space to get inside. Now, let's have a look at the back. Everything here is in perfect condition. I mean, this car is just... Look at how the seatbelt clips are sitting. In their place, upright. We have a rear sun curtain. We have the OEM covers for the speakers. The seat belts are anchored as they should, OEM. And it looks like this car just drove out of the factory. It looks like it just came out of Roslyn in Pretoria. Look at the bolts. It's still got the paint marks on them. A very nice exhaust over here. And the 2.7 sounds beautiful out of these pipes. And they angled perfectly, coming out from under the rear bumper. Okay. Well, let's have a look at the engine bay. Have a look at this. I mean, you still got these stickers here. giving you the direction for the levers on the seats. Amazing. Now, like cars of the day, the handle for the bonnet is on the passenger side. I don't know why they did it like that, but that's how they did it. Even my W124 300E, same story. But come on, feast your eyes on that. Feast your eyes on that. The VR6 looked good inside on my VR6 video, but this is on another level. Maybe I should rethink my position on which is the pinnacle cult car in South Africa. Now let's take a look at the monster that lurks beneath the bonnet of a 325 IS. This is what drives the country crazy. This is what brings out the soundtrack of the South African car culture. This is the motor that sets this car apart from everything else in South Africa. Even the AMG has struggled to topple this car off its throne. But having said that, please, I need you to take a look at the condition of this engine. All right? Look at the fuse box. All the fuses are well aligned. Colors are correct. Look at the pipes, water pipes, the clamping, all in great condition. And you still got the correct paint color sticker on your shock housing. So it's very important for BMWs of the day for you to have this sticker. And right now, the exterior paint color by BMW is ice white. So whenever you took your car into a panel beater and they needed to paint your BMW, that's where they got the code as to what paint they should use for your car to get the correct color. Of course, we can't let you go home without a rev. Now, can we? So I'm gonna ask Zach to jump in the car and do the honors while I film it. And by the way, this angle you see now with the bonnet open like this is something very, very familiar in South Africa. After the guys have been spinning the E30s and the engines are hot, then they drive them with the bonnet half open like that, looking like a shark about to devour something deep in the ocean. Okay, let's get it all started up and revved up. I think the bug might have bit you too. Be careful. You just want one for yourself.
box hlohla ngesitela start umshini HFG 323 mabhodlela full gate man prince ushaya ingidi sigwalindlela siyosineya sinqande nje Saturday siyabudedela yo cabanga check amakhahlela ngamgcina norilas shaya spark elilas bophele megawatt jagalas namelas phasa sihlazi dlala sinara ngepelas shock check and shot left lapha south asinqanda intwana yami mavuthela shaya around sifake imajiten sihabulisha touch ground yakhicika etipikeni chubuka ibomb city sound yo bhekisa imibombe nasibodi J Fasi J 140 ithathe Kia Oracle nekushaya long stroke J Fasi J 140 I said 140 J 140 wow I said 140 as Fasi J just 140 yo as Pini Beer just 140 yo as Spinach just 140 140
I need one for the road. Cold 6-pack, Chase Kia, let's go. Every time we spark, we make one for the road. Manray Max is the next episode. Supercharged Guaido, this is God mode. Tina Lapis fella con the Calipara.
here we are, behind the wheel of the infamous E30 325 IS. The nightmare of every parent, the dream and fantasy of every child. I cannot explain to you, express to you how much of an icon this car is in South Africa. The length and breadth of this country is just in awe of this vehicle. People would give their left testicle just to have this car. And today, I'm blessed enough to be sitting in one and reviewing it. So you want to know, I'm sure, what is it like to drive an IS? This experience has been fantastic. I think BMW got it right here. We never got the M3, E30 M3 in South Africa. Instead, BMW gave us the 333i, which we will review on this channel in the near future. Then at the same time, BMW decided to go racing in the Standard Group, and they created this, the 2.7 325 IS. You hear that? Yeah. We used to watch these cars racing. The 325 IS, its main rival was the Opel Superboss, the GSI. And hopefully we can find one to review on this channel as well, because you cannot talk about the 325 IS and forget the Superboss GSI, which many people have forgotten about. Oh, come on. Get out of here. You should see the rev counter. It dances. The rev counter just dances in this car. It's like alive. It's like a ballerina. It's jumping up and down, but gracefully. Completely gracefully. Let me just close the sunroof here so we get less air coming through. Oh, the sound at the back is fantastic. This 325 IS is making me sort of like eat my words. Ooh, come on. Come on. Oh, yes. This is Bavaria. When a BMW makes me happy, I say it's Bavaria. And have a look at me. I'm not looking at the camera most of the time. I'm focusing on the road because this is a driver's car. There's no aids here. There are no aids here. There's no ESP, no nanny. You've got to drive this car. Oh, man. This is 145 kilowatts. 100, 145, 143. We'll correct and just give you the correct figure. But the way it delivers, the way this car delivers, look, this is not, I mean, I come up here in my RS4. It's way, way quicker. This corner to corner, I mean, my RS4 is blistering here up in the mountains with the quattro. But the way this does it does it with so much character, man. So much character. And that's what makes this car so popular. Its character. And that exhaust note. This is the automotive national anthem of South Africa. I don't think the VR6 has quite knocked it off yet, if I may say so, now that I'm driving the 325is. And the good thing is that I'm driving them a couple of days apart. It would have been fantastic to drive them back to back, have them up here on the mountains on the same day. But even still, I think this IS would have taken the cup. And I'm saying so because the IS is a more sportier car than the VR6. We're up in the mountains. Look at the sunset. And listen to that soundtrack. Listen to that 2.7. I don't care what you're doing right now. I'd rather be here. I've got a truck in front of us. That grunt, that pull. I love cars that don't have 250 kilowatts, 300 kilowatts, but they make you feel as if they've got 500 Newton meters of torque, whereas they don't. This car's a drug. This car's an opium. This car's a drug. Oh my word. If the VR6 was ecstasy, this is cocaine. Come on, IS. That heel toe. So you just touch that accelerator, and the rev needle just dances. Now I can understand why. Now I can understand why. Steering wheel for a 90s car is precise. Way more precise than a VR6, if I must say. Suspension, stiffer than a VR6, because this is a coupe. So this is more of a sportier car than a VR6. This is a sports car. It's a two-door. But having said that, I would tell you that this car would do better as a Grand Tourer than something you want to always throw around in corners. Something very familiar about this 2.7 motor and the 3-liter E36 M3. The ease of power, the way that the revs climb. They share that same DNA. You can feel they come from the same family. But I must tell you, this car is proudly South African. And I'm going to tell you the story later. Because we all know the 333i and the 325IS, those cars are proudly South African. And that is why this car has the most respected, the most loved, the most revered soundtrack of South African car culture. There were some party goers there, and they're just all raising their hands and going crazy when they heard that. Ladies love the 325IS, and the boys go mad for it. So maybe where you from, you fantasize about 458 Ferrari or Lamborghini. In South Africa, young people fantasize about a 325IS. And I definitely now, for sure, I would say that they would want this car over a VR6. I doubt that'd be, if you had a choice that said whether it's a VR6 Jetta or a Golf with a 325IS parked there, I think this would be the winner. So VR6 is very close, very, very close. And maybe in time we'll see. You never know. We just hit the bottom of the mountain. We've come down. The day is over. The sun is setting. I'm now just doing 50 k's an hour, and everything is good. I'm wowed. I'm impressed. Well done, BMW South Africa. You deserve a standing ovation. What a masterpiece.